couple more rounds to go. 3 more rounds to go. Hopping over. And again, I have to apologize. I don't know all the players that were playing in specific rounds, knowing that some of the cheats I don't have. Right? They're here somewhere. I just don't know where they are. So I apologize. So some of the players we're just going to refer to as like the Revolt Zoo players. You know, some of them I can tell just from them playing at the shop enough, playing particular decks enough. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Robert is playing that Madcap Moon deck that he liked. Right? It's kind of like Blue Moon, but it's the red-green version. It's like what he played at the Invitational. I guess we could just call it Madcap Moon, but not blue. So, Revolt Zoo is kind of a deck that pops up from time to time. It's really popped up, you know, after the Kaladesh when that whole Revolt thing came out and people got to be able to do that. Hidden Herbalist is one of those creatures that was able to see play. It's very similar to Burning Tree Emissary, except instead of making a green and a red, you make double green if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn. You also have that Renegade in there, the Narnam, or however you pronounce that. I'm so bad with names, guys. But that's in there. It's that 1/2 with Death Touch, Revolt. You get to +1/+1 counter on it. But then it's got the Goblin Bushwhacker, right? If it gets kicked, creatures you control get +1/+0, gain haste until the end of the turn. And then Reckless Bushwhacker, that if you did the Surge cost, or you know, you can do Surge, so it costs less. Normally it would cost 2 and a red. If you play the Surge, if you've cast, you know, another spell before that, or this turn, I guess, doesn't have to be right before it, but this turn it costs 2. It's got haste for a 2/1 when it enters the battlefield. If you paid its Surge cost, other creatures get +1/+0 and have haste. And then it runs a playset of bolts, runs Tarkus commands. It's just kind of a very in-your-face deck to run. So, players being nice and lay out the dice, kind of saying, hey, anything within this zone is going to get on camera, so make sure you do your best to try to do that. Alright, getting things ready. Both players getting themselves rocked out and ready to go. So our Revolt Zoo player is feeling pretty good about his hand. Robert, on the other hand, is saying, no, I need something better. Give me something better. Please. Better 6. looks like he's ready to go. So it's hard sometimes when you're looking through things and you can usually determine what deck people are playing based on their lands, based on how the first couple turns go. So, him starting out like this, it's not really letting him know anything, right? Windswept into a forest is just like, okay. Thanks for not telling me what you're playing. Utopian Sprawl is pretty nice. So that's kind of giving indication of, okay, there's a good chance you could be on some, Blood Moon shenanigans where you might want to try to even go for a land destruction, Panza style of theme here. And we see Fetch, Shock starting things out for our Revolt Zoo player. There's a lot of turn 1 plays that he could be going for here. Experiment 1. He could be throwing down a Goblin Guide. He could be throwing down the Renegade, the Coddle, Vexing Devil even. Looks like he's got a Bolt in hand. Renegade. Yeah, get that going. Already buff it up. Revolt trigger. No, don't use the tiny dice. That's what the big dice are for. It's okay. It's alright. Blood Moon's the follow-up. Not bad, but the Revolt Zoo has way to generate red and green, and it's a red-green deck, right? And he's sitting with 2 bolts in his hand, so he can just say, alright, I'll play this mountain that's in my hand, and, play this Vexing Devil, right? Alright, here's a mountain, he says. Here's a Curd Ape. Here's a Vexing Devil. So, I love Vexing Devil as a card. For those that don't know, you can sack it and lose life kind of thing. Costs 1 red for a 4/3, and he says, hey, you can choose to let this stay, or you can take 4 damage now. So he says, yeah, I don't want you to have that. And he says, I'll come at you for 2. Armor's going to drop to 13 already. Curd Ape's going to follow things up. Not that scary. You have foil. Playset of foil Vexing Devils. I wish I had a playset of foils. I just got the playset of the regulars. I got them, back when Avacyn Restored came out. I went to all my friends. This was back when I was just, playing kitchen table, having fun. Hadn't really gotten into it. It was right around that RTR block when I started playing, more competitively in Standard and stuff like that. And getting into Modern and stuff, but it was, that came out and I was like, listen guys, I don't care what other cards you get from this set, give me the Vexing Devils. Got them from under $2 each, that's awesome. I wonder what they're at now. Vexing Devil foils. Around $15 now? Yeah, I think it'll be a while before I get foils of those. I don't need those in foil because I don't play too much of the Vexing Devils right now. And if I do, I just use the regulars. I'm very interested in getting, my Infect deck to be all spiced up and foily and signed and things like that, just because it's the deck that I've played the most and enjoyed the most. So our Revolt player is really trying to get close to being able to do some surge action here. And he says, here's Nakatl. Alright. This lovely wild Nakatl gets +1 as long as you control a mountain, +1 as long as you control plains. And he says, I would like to surge this and buff up my team. Hope that's cool with you. Nakatl's now going to become a 3. Alright, here's this lovely Curd Ape coming across as well. Bushwhacker. 2 damage, 3 damage, 5, 6, 7. Seven, 8. Oh no, he's got a forest. Yeah, he's got a forest now. So 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. So he's coming at him for 8 right now. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good turn, I'd say. Manamorphose is pretty nice. He's got an Atarka's command and a bolt, so he can kill him here. Let me turn my guy sideways. Let me Atarka's command. Oh, here's 4 mana. What's he got? Please sack a creature. I'd like to also gain some life. And he could say no. I would like to kill you regardless. Game 1, Revolt Zoo. Getting in there. Showing who's boss with the aggro plan. And if you're just sitting there trying to reduce, you know, your opponent's land playability, the Madcap deck is pretty nice for that. But you have to be careful playing against the aggressive decks in the format, because they could just overwhelm you before you're really able to hit that Madcap, right? So I don't know if it's red-green as much as it's Naya. So we're just going to say it's Madcap, Moon, Naya. We'll say Naya. So we get to at least get a nice view of our Revolt player's list and how he's looking for his Manamorphose, Vexen Devils, Bolt, Bushwhackers, a couple Revolt stuff. So it looks like Boros Charm, I think, was one of the ones he was considering bringing in, giving a creature double strike or just dealing 4 damage outright. You know, all of it's really good. Robert's hoping to hit some removal, Anger of the Gods, things like that, to kind of help disrupt this kind of super quick go wide strategy. Alright, players shuffling it up, getting ready for game number 2 here, guys. Again, if you're liking the coverage, I recommend and highly encourage you to hit those follows, the subscribes, all that kind of good stuff. You can see the Twitters down below for where you guys can find myself and my co-caster. Sadly, my co-caster is not doing so well. It's got some back problems, not able to join us tonight, but we do stream up every Monday, so if you like that, it's a great way to show your support by following us on Twitter, as well as here on twitch.tv/Modern Magic Mondays. The VODs do go up on YouTube every week, so in case you missed some of the rounds earlier or missed some of the previous seasons, you guys can check it out that way. Alright, getting ready. Getting going with game number 2. Again, the Revolt Zoo is a super aggressive, in-your-face kind of strategy, and if you don't have the removal spells to kind of deal with it, it's tough to deal with. That's another matchup as an Infect player that I just hate to play against. I do not like Zoo strategies. They just come at you too quick. They gum up the board. It's just not what I want to do. Alright. Temple Garden. Down to 18. The Coddle's following it up pretty good. Already at 2-2. Robert's going to fetch. Go to 19. Slow start for Robert here. Not really having much to kind of work with, but that's okay. Another Nacatl is a good start as well, so double Nacatl action. And because he's got that mountain, they are 3/3s. So he says, hey, I'm coming at you for 3. Robert's just going to go, yeah, alright. I'll go to 16. Oh, Courser of Crew Fix. Nice. I like it. Two, 4, can gain life off whenever he plays a land. So that's a nice one. Curd Ape coming out. Again, he gets buffed up. Manamorphose. Generate a red and a green. Oh, Surge. Let's buff the team. Everyone gets haste. Coming at you, he says. Here's 2 damage. 4. So 8. Curd Ape is 3. He's a 3/5. It says block Curd Ape. I'll take 10. Go to 6. Gain a life, go to 7. Madcap, experiment. That's a fun one. Sometimes you see it in a Blue Moon style deck where you're going to reveal top cards of your library to reveal an artifact card. Put that card in the battlefield, the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Then, deal damage equal number of cards revealed this way. Well, too bad he got that Platinum Imperium. Which is an 8/8 golem, which says you cannot gain or lose life. You can't pay any amount of life except 0. So that's going to be annoying to deal with. Because your life can't change, right? He can attack all he wants. Your life's not going to change. So that's really what he was hoping for game 1, wasn't able to get. Now he's sitting pretty saying, hey, you know what? Attack me. Go ahead. I'm going to start swinging in with this 8/8 every turn. So you better be ready. And here we go. Another creature jumping in the board. A renegade here. So he's a death touch, so that will be nice. You can use that to say, hey, go ahead, attack me with that 8/8. I dare you. Things are looking tough, but gaining life is nice. Chandra's going to hit the field here. Utopian Sprawl makes it much easier to be able to cast something big. So it's kind of in a weird spot where everything's locked, right? It's, you know, Robert can't do much. He says, hey, I've got Chandra. I'm going to get rid of this top card and deal 2 damage to you. Drops you to 16. By the way, my life can't change, so you better find a way to deal with this. And I don't know if a Revolt Zoo player has anything right now. I don't like, looking at, I don't think he knew he was playing against this list, or he probably would have brought in some artifact hate that he might have had, right? But if you don't know you're facing against something like that, you're not going to bring in the artifact hate. Continuing to gain life here. Get a clue. Sack a clue, draw a card. It's a really weird position to be in. It's like Robert is just going to start chipping away off of Chandra, right? He just can sit here and keep doing that. But that's like it right now. Alright, Robert's sitting here trying to go through. Does he care about Blood Moon or not? Says, yeah, I'm going to keep gaining life. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, I lied. He can't gain life. He's still at like 6. Because Platinum Imperium says your life total can't change. I am not going to be able to pronounce your name, Miss Ewer 508. MSUYER 508. That's much better. Oh, bonfire on the top. That's pretty good. Thanks for tuning in tonight. He's just going to say, alright, close enough. See, I'm the worst at pronouncing people's names, and that's usually why I have my co-caster here to help me with pronouncing different people's names and stuff like that. It's much easier that way. So you're tuning into a stalemated match right now. Platinum Imperium's out. He's hanging up at the very top, right underneath kind of our point totals and stuff like that. Oh, thank you for the follow. Glad you're liking the stream tonight. Really appreciate it. We do go live every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. 4 to 5 rounds of Magic, usually. Tonight we have a special treat where we've got like 7 rounds. It says round 1 down there. It's actually, we're in the 5th round. But, you know, just ignore it. Ignore that part. So, weird stalemate stuff. Now, here's the thing. He just top decks Bonfire and does a lot of damage. Alright. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Card. Bonfire of the Damned. The Blind Orphan. Thank you for the follow. Glad you're liking the stream tonight. So it looks like he says, I'm just going to wipe your board here, right? Let's just do that. Strip away, and I'm assuming he's going to be taking at least 4 points of damage in the process. Oh, we got an emblem. And it costs 7 to emblem. Chandra's 4 loyalty. So he should have taken at least 2 more. But that's okay. I missed a little bit of points of damage, but it doesn't matter. Chandra emblem, Bonfire, Platinum Imperium, locking things out. Robert's going to take game 2 and tie it up 1-1. So he did run red-green Madcap for the Invitational, but has decided to make it Naya, adding in the white there to be able to get access to things like Path to Exile. Just a couple extra things. Blessed Alliance is one of them. Paul Theodoro. Thank you for the follow as I try to slowly work my way through that username. I'm glad you're liking the stream tonight. Oh, the downsides of not having the co-caster here, because usually when a name pops up, unless it's something easy, like just like a nice 3-letter, someone's simple name, I'm always like, all right, Brett, go ahead. Farmazornard, tell me what name they've got there for me. But I really appreciate that you guys are liking the stream tonight, and I really appreciate the support that you're giving by hitting those follow buttons. It means a lot. So game 3, getting back into the sideboard. So now a Revolt Zoo player is kind of looking through it and going, okay, where are my artifact removal? What do I've got to help him out? And there are some good ones that he does have access to, right? Destructive Revelry is a nice one. You know, being able to destroy an artifact or enchantment and deal 2 damage to that creature's or that permanent controller's life is pretty nice. Alright, shuffling it up. Let's see what we got. Show me what you got. Who's got 7 good cards and who doesn't? Looks like Robert seems good with his, but a Revolt Zoo player is not feeling it. Looks like that one is a better one. Revolt Zoo player going to drop down to 17. Looks like he at least has his Renegade in his hand. Oh, actually, he says, you know what? Goblin Guide seems like a nice one to throw your way. And Robert's going to drop down to 16 here. And throw down a bird of his own to say, you know what? I need to just accelerate a little bit. And thoughts on Tron in the current metagame. I actually have a buddy that is big on Tron. Like, he's been foiling it out for a while, really trying to get it set up. I think if we're seeing more and more Jund and decks like that, Tron is positioned quite nicely against those lists. I think the mono green version is probably the safest version. Now, if things adjust and shift more, I think red green is probably the second best behind that. We haven't seen much of the red green, but I just like the ability to have bolts, like the ability to have like fire spouts and Kozilek's returns, things like that to kind of help you out. There's less worry about planeswalkers and stuff. The bolts might not be as relevant right now. Let's adjust life totals. But I think if you're going to play Tron, it works out nicely because of the amount of Jund running around. So like the mono green version is what most people are playing right now, and it's powerful. It also has access to things like Thought-Knot Seers in the sideboard. I think it's fine, right? It works out well. Blood Moon's a pretty good follow-up here to kind of slow things down, but, they're still pushing damage here, right? We still saw the Goblin swing over there for 2 points of damage again. I don't think that the black-green version is where you should be if you're going to play Tron. Thoughtseize is nice, but Fatal Push is becoming less and less relevant, right? Yeah, okay, cool, I can kill a Death Shadow, I can kill a Goyf, I can kill a couple of your humans kind of thing, but for the most part, I don't really care about pushing. I can't push some of your big stuff, so let's see. 2, 4, 6 damage going to come across. Puts him to 8 life here. The Blessed Alliance is nice, because he can gain some life, he can make his opponent sack a creature. And here we go. Blessed Alliance going to get used. It says, please sack one of your creatures. He said, yeah, I'll sack that one. That's fine. He says, all right, I'll take the 4. Go to 4. Bonfire coming up next. It's pretty good. I'll do 2 damage, he says. It says 2 damage to each of your creatures, 2 damage to you. Puts you to 12, you lose one of your creatures, then you'll be sitting with your Renegade still. And then Mountain. Push for damage, says, hey, here's 2. Puts you to 2, and he says, hey, I got a bolt. And that'll be enough to finish him off. Whew. No forest, meaning he cannot turn on his Utopian Sprawl, which made it a little bit tough. He was kind of short on mana there because of that. Couldn't get a Madcap going, couldn't get his Platinum Imperium coming out, so was a little bit tough. But Revolt Zoo is meant to get out there quick and early like that. So you have to kind of be aware that that deck exists. Most of the time when you're seeing like a creature-based deck kind of like that, you'll be seeing humans at more events, but it is something that exists. It pops up every now and again. You go to a bigger event, there's probably going to be, 2 players to 5 players running it. Sometimes a little more, depending on where in the country you might be, because, there's different metas at different parts of the country. But we're going to hop on over. We're just going to continue along with the stream, guys. We've got round number 6 coming at you. Should be a pretty exciting round here. We've got some powerhouse players coming at you. And he is not running Lantern Control. I lied to you.